What's up, guys? It's John Muscarello from Side Hustle Experiment. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I know a lot of people have recently subscribed. If you have not subscribed, please do so. I am a six-figure Amazon reseller. I also sell on eBay. I sell mostly used books and media, and I'm starting to get into online arbitrage. And in today's video, I want to talk with you about a mistake I made doing online arbitrage that's hopefully doesn't cost me any money. We'll see what happens. I'm new to online arbitrage. I've been doing it for dabbled in it like a couple months ago, not really, but now I'm really starting to get into it with the restock limits. So let's just get into it. So online arbitrage is basically when you buy something from, let's say, like Walmart.com. Let's say it was, I don't know, a thing of toothpaste, and at Walmart it sells for $2, but on Amazon for some reason it's selling consistently for $12. There's definitely some room for you in there to make $2 or $3 on that. I don't know the math. You'd have to really crunch the numbers on that, but it's just an example. And you could use a software called Tactical Arbitrage, which is what I am using, that can do a lot of this manual work for you. So you could say, I want to search, Walmart.com for beauty products, and you could select the category. It runs a search, and then you could like whittle down that search. You could say, I want to see everything that will make me $3, or I want to see things that sell at least 30 a month, or whatever you want to do. So in my case, I started with media, which I don't think is probably the best thing for most people. There's really not a lot of it, from what I found deal-wise. You could do what you want, but I started with media, and I just started with media because I'm familiar with it, because I sell used media, so I'm very familiar with how the Keep a Chart works for that, and ranks. Everything is ranked differently, all categories, so I'm very familiar with that. So I decided to buy a bunch of DVDs, and it was quite the experiment. It almost seemed like too good to be true, but in this case it was. So I bought the DVDs off of Walmart.com, and just like Amazon, Walmart also has third-party sellers, and sometimes, since I don't usually buy stuff on Amazon or on Walmart, I'm really not familiar with like kind of how the seller shows up. It's very similar to Amazon. If you weren't paying attention, like you probably wouldn't even know it came from a third-party person at times. So in this case, I thought it was coming from Walmart. And one of the red flags should have been is that it was like a new DVD that was selling for probably, if I bought it for 20, it was selling for close to 75. And I don't know, again, I'm new at this. Like, I hear people find deals like this all the time. So I bought, I think, 7 copies. So that's everything that they had in stock. So I did that, and I did the same thing for another box set, I think it was. And I placed my orders, and they arrived 2 days ago. And the thing with it was, when I got the DVDs, the first set, the one that I paid 20 for, that was selling for like 76, it was in Japanese. And I was like, how did this happen? Like, I know for sure, I like triple checked these things, and I definitely did not buy the Japanese version. So what I came to find out is, when I went onto Walmart.com and actually clicked more into this listing, when you click on the listing, when you click on the actual image of the DVD, when it blows up, it's totally blurry. So the icon image matches the image that was on Amazon. The UPC codes matched, but when you went to blow it up, it was all blank. So obviously this was done intentionally. I think so. And just like Amazon, you can see the company. So like, if you knew my store name, you could see like what I'm all about. I think my phone number is on there. You could be contacted. So the same thing happened with these guys. And I Googled their company and I was like, I wonder what the deal is with this. And it turns out that like a lot of people have issues with them. They've been known to sell counterfeit DVDs, supposedly, and all these issues. So I'm kind of freaking out because, you know, I thought I bought it from Walmart, and they're like, oh, sellers should have different return policies. Luckily, they have the same policy as Walmart. You could return up for 30 days. So that's what I'm doing with those. And then the same company I bought 2 box sets from them. They only sent me 1 in the mail, and I told them, and they're like, that's impossible. We definitely sent you 2. And I was like, there's no way. And they're like, no, the tracking says delivered. I said no, and I took pictures of everything. So, because I had a feeling after reading on Google there was going to be an issue. So I basically took a picture of the box and I was like, listen, there is no way that you could even fit 2 of these in this box. And this is what the tracking number is on, like the label. And they finally refunded me. So some like not so good stuff going on with this company on Amazon or on eBay or on Walmart. I'm not going to call out their name because it's just not how I roll. Maybe if they don't refund me all the money, I will. And then there was another set that I bought from another seller. So now I was freaking out, being like, oh my God, like I bought from all third-party sellers, but it turned out it was only the other thing I bought came from a third-party seller, and their stuff arrived, and the shrink wrap looked like very weird on the DVDs. Like it looked like they re-shrink wrapped it. And the only reason I know this is because like I come across new DVDs all the time, and they do not look like that. It almost looked like way too shrink wrap tight. And I got 5 of them, and I was like, I don't know, something seems funny here. And so one of them had a dust jacket on it, and the other 4 didn't. So obviously these were repackaged because only one had the dust jacket. I don't know how they could have almost overlooked that, so I had to return those as well. So, moral of the story, guys, when you're ordering on sites that also allow sellers, be sure to be checking like you're ordering from the actual store and not a third-party seller. That is the advice that I am very new to OA, but everyone in the people who I know who do a really good job of it say you should always be ordering from the site and not third-party sellers. Luckily for me, I caught this. So that's lesson number 2. Make sure to inspect the products. Like, I knew they arrived to my house. I was at the warehouse, and I was like, oh, I should just list it now and start getting sales. I was like, oh, let me just check to make sure everything's good. And good thing I did, because yeah, this stuff didn't match up. And yeah, so that was a lesson. Lesson number 3, you know, there are deals out there. Well, I don't know, I haven't come across one yet, but from what I hear, that, you know, there are deals out there, from what I hear anyway, where there could be a scenario where you can find like ridiculous ROI. But in this case, when it was almost like, it almost seemed to me like it was just too crazy to be able to buy like an older DVD on Walmart, and that, you know, you could buy it for 25 and sell it for 75. I mean, whatever. And, you know, just be cautious. Maybe, I don't really know. I feel like I did a good job checking. Obviously not. I mean, or I could just have a bad experience with this company, and they do this all the time. And number 4 was, you know, use it to your advantage. If they give you the store's name, like Google it. There is a lot of information that was out there on this company, and I definitely handled the refund process different because I knew that like a lot of other people had issues. So when I reached out to them, I was very clear with what happened, what I wanted, knowing that they might try to like be like, no, we're not doing that, this is incorrect. So yeah, just use all the information to your advantage. And you know what? Lesson number 5, I'm gonna throw another one in there. You're gonna make mistakes when you start something new. I mean, that's just how it goes. This, luckily, it is online arbitrage, so I can return it. I made sure to recheck the return policies on everything, just in case something like this did happen or something was broken or whatever. So I should get all my money back. Actually, false. I'm gonna throw a 6th tip out there. Put everything on a credit card. I am not saying to leverage, like go into debt on this. Use it responsibly. This is not financial advice. This is more for your protection. If I put this on a debit card, I would be really freaking out right now, just because, not because there's not money in there, but because the refund process is much different. It takes much longer. Credit card companies, if you have a good account with them, you could be like, listen, I got really ripped off here. Please hold the funds to this. And then you can kind of work it out with the company. So that's what I got for you guys today. Leave me a comment. Have you ever come across something like this? Or what is the mistake you made when you first started doing all that? I kind of love to hear about it. And please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video.